These are my 4 cars. Why do I own 4 cars? Well, the short answer, why not? You only live once, right? Now let's dive a little bit deeper into each car individually, and I'll tell you why I actually own them. First, we're going to start with the Mazda Miata, then we're going to go to the Mini Cooper, and the FTO, then the Exige. Let's go. This is the 1996 Mazda Miata M Edition. Now, this isn't fully mine. I partially own it with both of my brothers. We bought it a few years ago as a fun car, just something we can beat on, play around with, mess around with, fix up, you know, all that good stuff. And that's what we did. Over the first couple years, we put suspension on it. We did a lot with the brakes, all new brake system with stainless steel brake lines and all upgraded parts. We upgraded a little bit of the engine as maintenance, but we didn't actually do any performance upgrades. So the engine is completely stock. It thing's got 157,000 miles on it. Runs like a beast. Runs like a champ. Starts up every time. The thing is awesome. We've used it for autocross and just beat it up, and it can take it. It's a pretty awesome car. It's fun. It's a blast. So over the past couple years, it's mainly been used for a secondary car, mainly for my brothers. If one of their cars are in the shop or broken down, they could borrow the car for a week or 2 at a time, and you know, you got the car that way. You don't have to rent a car or anything like that. We haven't really done anything with it lately. We got plans for it. I mean, it's ugly on the outside, but the thing runs smooth and awesome. But yeah, so we'll see what happens to it in the future. We plan on still doing some things to it. Obviously, we got some plans, but we'll see if they fold out and which ones do and which ones don't. Maybe we'll document them on here, and we'll see how it goes. This is the 2013 Mini Cooper S Hardtop. I got this thing a couple years ago, upgraded from my previous Mini Cooper S. I'm a big fan of Mini Coopers. They're different, they're fun, they're practical, they get good gas mileage. So that's what I use this car for. Living in the Chicagoland area, you need a car that you're going to be using in the winter, and that's what this car is for me. I'm not going to drive any one of the other 3 in the winter. This is going to be my winter car. So you need a 4-season car. Anything that I'm going to take on long road trips, that's this one. It's comfortable, it's practical, gets good gas mileage. It's also fun. You could drive it in traffic. On my way to and from work, it's got the good acceleration that allows me to merge and weave in and out of traffic, and fun taking turns. It's a fun car, and the practicality of it, it's a grocery getter. It's got 4 seats. They're kind of small in the back seat, but honestly, this is the most spacious car I have. And the back seats aren't terrible for an average person, that is. But that's what this car is for me. Now let's talk about my 1995 Mitsubishi FTO GPX. Right-hand drive, imported from Japan. Gotta love it. I bought this car primarily for daily driving, actually. I want to use it like 3 of the 4 months of the year. Obviously, the 4th month will be winter. I would use the Mini Cooper S for that. So I plan on driving this thing a lot. I'll drive the Mini Cooper S occasionally through the nice months, you know, for a longer trip or specific reasons, really bad inclement weather or something like that. But for the most part, I'm going to be driving this guy. And the reason is it's fun, it's exciting, and it's practical. It's front-wheel drive, and it gets pretty good gas mileage, about upper 20s. I just got 27 miles per gallon on the last tank. So it's pretty decent in that aspect. I always wanted a right-hand drive car ever since I saw Fast and the Furious when I was 16 years old in 2001. I just loved the forbidden fruit aspect of it. Never had right-hand drive car in America, so I thought, how cool would that be? And me, of course, I like oddities, things that are rare, things that are different. So having a right-hand drive car just made it that much more exciting, and I always wanted one. And now finally the time came where I was able to get one. And which one do I want? So I chose the Mitsubishi FTO for a couple reasons. Aside from a Skyline or an RX-7 or a Supra, those cars are so much more expensive because the demand is so high. A lot of people don't know what an FTO is, so the demand is not really there. So the price is actually pretty affordable in comparison to those cars. I fell in love with the FTO 11 years ago when I went on a vacation to Australia. I went out to Australia. I really wanted to drive left side of the road, right-hand drive. And that's what I did. I got my international driver's license. I rented a manual car over there, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And I saw a yellow FTO when I was there, and I was like, that is the car I want. And here I am, 11 years later, and I got it. This is going to be the car that I drive pretty much every day. Now, if things go wrong with it, I have to order parts from Japan, so it'll probably sit for a little bit. But I got other cars I could drive, which is nice, during the downtime. So that's what this car is going to be, driving it as much as I can. And also, I could take this car to car shows if it's not looking too hot out there. It might rain and I don't want to take the Exige out. I could take this car and still have people look at it like, what is that? That's pretty interesting. So that's why I have the FTO. Now my 2006 Lotus Exige, my dream car, my fun car, my toy car, the car that I've always wanted. When I say always wanted, I actually saw one for the first time in person when I was 18 years old, and walking into the gym, there was a yellow Lotus Elise. Absolutely love them. I love Lamborghinis, love Ferraris, but I will never be able to afford one of those. So seeing one of these and knowing the affordability of it, it was a dream car of mine to actually attain one of them. I don't drive it too often. I only drive it when it's super nice out, gorgeous, when it's not gonna rain. I've only been caught in inclement weather and rainy weather probably less than 10 times in the 7 years I've owned it. I really want it to stay as fresh as the day that I bought it, and I just absolutely love this car. If it's dirty for more than 24 hours, then it starts to get under my skin, and I can't wait for the next nice day to wash it. That's just how crazy I am about this car. It's a quick car that I've autocrossed a bunch of times. It's a blast. It's so fun to drive it and reliable. The engine is giving me no problems, knock on wood, and it's just an amazing car to own. I love taking this car to car shows. I love the thumbs up. Every time I'm on the road, I at least get one thumbs up. People looking at it that don't even know about cars. I mean, obviously the color is going to stand out, and it just attracts attention. And as I said before earlier in the video, I love different cars. People ask all the time, who makes that car? What is it? How much was it? It must be like $100,000. So people don't know a lot about it, and that's what makes it so awesome. Another fantastic thing about this car is the resale value. I bought it 7 years ago for $40,000. I know for a fact I can sell it for pretty close to that money. I've only put 12,000 miles on it in 7 years, so it's got really low mileage, and for 2006 it's in excellent condition. I like to think I take pretty good care of it, so the resale value is another thing that's going to be well worth it down the line. I remember conversations in high school talking with my friends about dream cars, what we'd rather have, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and I always loved the notion of having multiple cars of the value of one car. So people are like, oh, I would love a Ferrari. I said, well, for a Ferrari, you could get this car, this car, this car, and this car. I'd rather have those cars. I never would have dreamed that it actually became a possibility and reality that I would actually own multiple cars of my dreams, really. I mean, I've always wanted these cars individually for some way or another. That's why I have them, right? So I got them. It's super exciting, and I love it. You only live once, man. Live it up. Live each day to the fullest. Do what gives you joy each day. That's what I say. So I gotta go run a couple errands. I'm taking the Exige out today because it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll catch you guys next time. Leave a comment. Let me know what cars you would get, and I'll talk to you later.